Hi, my name is Kaylee. Welcome to a yoga practice. When you're ready, you can meet me in a seat. You don't need any equipment for this practice. We're just gonna kind of check in with how the body's feeling, take some maybe deeper breaths than you've taken throughout the day, and enjoy a little bit of gentle moving and stretching to reset and realign anything that's feeling tense in your body. So join me in a comfortable seat. You're welcome to keep the eyes gently open. If it feels better, if you find yourself able to center more, closing the eyes down, go ahead and meet me with your eyelids closed. And then just immediately bring your awareness into your body. Feel that your shoulders are stacking over your hips. Let your ribs settle in over your pelvis. Feel the sit bones rooting down into the mat or the floor, whatever surface you're practicing on. And the lift through the heart space. Let that lift carry all the way up to the crown of the head so you're sitting tall in the spine. There's a softness in the front side of your body, right around your heart. And stay here taking just 2 rounds of deeper breaths. Let the belly expand as you breathe in. And then long exhale, either through your nose or through your mouth. Once more like that, breath in, let the belly fill, let the chest expand. And then let it go. If you've got your eyes closed, blink them open and meet me on your hands and your knees. Coming to a tabletop position with your shoulders over your wrists and your knees right under your hips. Tilt the tailbone gently up, drop the chest forward, scoop it through your arms as you lift your chin up, finding a little back bend here. Take a breath in. And then tuck the tailbone toward the knees as you exhale, bring your chin in toward your chest, rounding your spine for cat. Lift the tailbone, inhale as you pull the heart through your arms, take the chin up. Tuck the tailbone, exhale, draw your navel in gently, chin toward your chest. Take 2 more rounds here, breathing in as you pull your heart through and lift the tailbone. Exhaling as you round your back, pressing your hands down. 1 more, just moving with your breath in. And breath out. Find a neutral spine here. So feeling that your pelvis and your ribs are roughly in the same plane. And then bring your right toes back behind you. Just go ahead and rock forward and backward a couple times, opening up through your right calf. You want to adjust your hands if that feels better. Maybe you kind of circle the right ankle around, circle the right heel around in space. If you do take circles, switch the direction of those circles. And then we're going to keep that right leg back, lift the left arm up. You can just lift the left elbow or go ahead and stretch your left all the way up here. Nice long inhale. As you exhale, left hand down, bring your right knee back underneath your right hip. Bring your left toes back behind you. Go ahead and rock forward and backward. Notice if this calf feels any different than the other one. It's really common. I know I have a little bit more tension in my left lower leg. It's really common for there to be some asymmetries. You just want to take note of those. Let that inform how you move. Maybe you rotate the ankle. So the challenge in a yoga practice is really to listen to the body, switch direction of those circles. The stretches themselves, we want to take just enough to feel a good sensation, not forcing ever anything. Keep the shoulders over the wrists. Lift your right elbow or maybe even the right arm all the way up. Stay strong in your back leg here. Breathe in. And then bring the hand and the knee back down under your body. Tuck the toes under. And then walk your hips back towards your heels, finding a stretch for the soles of the feet. You can walk the hands as close to the knees as you like. You might even go ahead and bring your palms to your thighs. That can be a lot of stretch on the plantar fascia. So if that feels like you're forcing anything, just bring a little bit more weight forward into the hands. Soften your jaw, maybe close your eyes, 2 rounds of breath. A good stretch in the hips. Great, walk the hands forward, keep the toes tucked under. We're gonna push into the palms and lift the knees and the hips for downward facing dog. When you find down dog, notice that your feet are gonna be about hips distance apart back behind you. You might take a peek forward, the wrists are about shoulder distance apart toward the top of your mat. And then go ahead and pedal out your feet a couple times. I did say you don't need any equipment. You could be practicing just on your floor or your carpet. No need for a mat here, but if you're practicing on something slick, make sure that you've got a good connection between the hands and the feet. And if it feels like a strain to hold down dog, you walk the hands a little closer to the feet. That's going to let you push down a little bit more and keep your balance here. From downward facing dog, let's take a step with your right foot between your hands and then pivot your toes toward the left. Walk your hands between your feet. You're gonna find a wide straddle here. Give your head a gentle little shake from chin to chin. Maybe a little nod yes to release any tension in the base of the skull, the back of the neck, and then find that big stretch in the backs of your legs here. Press into your feet, push down through all 4 corners of your feet. Keep your straddle base, walk the fingertips forward, they're still in between your feet. Extend to your right fingers right underneath your chest so that right wrist is lined up with your right shoulder, and then lift your left arm up, twisting toward the back. Try and stay long in your spine here so the sit bones are pulling back, crown of the head is lengthening away from your chest. Take a big breath in, find some space in that twist. And then sweep the hands to the top of the mat, pivot your toes forward, step your back foot up to meet your front foot. So your feet are underneath your hips at the top. Catch the crooks of your opposite elbows, put a generous bend in your knees and find your ragdoll stretch here. Might feel good to separate your feet a little bit wider or to find a little sway. You can play around with bending one knee a lot and straightening out the other leg. Just again, kind of noticing the sensations in your body. The challenge is to pay attention to what you're feeling. So often we live our days very much up in our heads. I know I do. And yoga practice and physical practice is a really nice way to bring some energy into the body. And sometimes that has a ripple effect of re-energizing some of our mental reserves as well. Release your fingers down. Heel till your feet a little closer together. It's up to you what spacing feels best. Keep a bend in your knees as you unroll, pushing into your feet, unrolling, stacking the vertebra. Shoulders come up over your hips. Reach your arms up over your head. Feel that your feet are pushing down. You might feel the legs engage. You can lift the toes, feel your quads. Take a big breath in. And then catch your left wrist, find a side bend, guiding that left wrist over to the right. Keep rooting down into the outer edge of your left foot. So feeling that big side body stretch. On an inhale, come back to the center, reach the arms up, and then catch your right wrist, find your stretch, pulling it over to the left, gently breathing. Come back to the center, take a breath in. You might even look up toward the ceiling and then fold forward, long exhale, soften the knees, hinge at the hips. Find a halfway stretch here. Bend your knees a bunch so that you can plant the hands and then step your feet to downward facing dog with the back of your neck. From downward facing dog, pedal it out again. Maybe wag your hips side to side. This time we're going to step the left foot forward, pivot the toes to the right, and find that wide-legged forward fold on this side. Same options here to find a little bit of movement in the head and the neck. You might choose to reach for the outer edges of your ankles and bend your elbows, pulling the crown of the head downward toward the mat or the floor. And then release whatever you caught. If you reach for the ankles, bring your fingertips underneath your chest. Tent the left finger, so left wrist and left shoulder start to line up, and then sweep your right arm up, finding a lot of space in your spine. And then meet the twist with your breath. So breathe in a way that helps you feel into a little bit more space in the chest as the lungs expand. Sweep your hands to the top of the mat, pivot the toes forward, step your right foot to meet your left. Find a halfway stretch this time. Press your palms into your shins. Wrap your shoulder blades onto the back. Hug in through your lower abdominals. And then catch your calves. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Drop the crown of the head down toward the mat. Keep the knees soft as you push into the feet, unrolling. Ribs over hips. Reach the arms up. Big breath in. Press your left wrist. Find your side bend as you exhale. Come back to the center on an in-breath. And then swap it out. Catch your right wrist, stretch to the left as you exhale. Come back to the center, breathe in, look upward. And then fold forward, breath out. Plant the hands, bend the knees a bunch. Step your feet to the back of the mat for downward facing dog. This time, bring your right leg back behind you and then put a bend in the right knee, so that you're externally opening that right hip. Let the right foot get heavy. Push into your right hand as you lift the right knee. You might find some movement in your top foot. You can curl the toes in or rotate the ankle around. Keep pressing into your hands. Keep your right leg back behind you as you breathe in. You're going to step the right foot between your thumbs here. Keep the back knee lifted, keep your left hand down, reach your right arm up and open, finding a twist. Push into your left hand to keep twirling your chest open toward the right. And then again, create that length in your spine, stay strong in your back leg. Breathe in. Take that straddle, so bring that right hand down inside of the right foot, pivot the toes to the left side of your mat, and then right away lift the left arm up. Finding the twist to the back of the mat, breathe in. Sweep the hands to the top of the mat, pivot the toes forward. Pause this time, drop your back knee down. The back knee down, you're welcome to pat that back knee. If you have a mat, you just roll the edge of the mat inward. You might want to grab a towel if you're practicing on a harder surface, or just some cushioning for the back knee. When you're ready, meet me reaching the arms up. Stacking the hips over that left knee, so hips over your back knee. Then bring your right hand or right forearm to your right thigh. Take the left arm up and over, finding a side stretch here. Start to take your eyes over your right shoulder and then rotate your chest to the right, but keep the right knee and the right toes pointing forward. Come back to the center, take a breath here. And then frame out your front foot, lift the back knee. We're going to step the right foot to the back of the mat, finding a plank pose. So we'll only do this high push-up thing maybe once or twice. You're welcome to drop the knees straight down, but keep lifting up through your lower abdominals. We're going to slowly lower all the way to the mat, bending your elbows straight back. I'm going to opt for knees down today. Do what makes sense for your body. When you land, reach the arms out to a Y, onto the tops of the feet so the toenails are down. Head is, nose is pointing down. Take a breath in. Stay here as you exhale. And then inhale, bend the elbows to a Y, pull the chest up. We're going to do that again. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, bend the elbows. Did I say Y? Bend them to a W. So the inhale is going to be our W. Exhale is going to be our Y. Let's do a few of those. Inhale, W arms, lift the chest. Exhale, reach the arms forward, point the nose straight down. Two more. Inhale, bend the elbows, lift the chest. Exhale, reach it long, nose points toward the floor. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. This time, slide the fingers back toward your, right underneath your shoulders, toward your ribs. Tuck the toes under, and then press up and back to downward facing dog. Feel free every time you land in down dog to bring a little bit of movement in, or maybe start to add a little bit of stillness. So downward facing dog is a great spot to practice your drishti, your focus. So you set the eyes to one point. Traditionally, we're gonna peek toward the navel. For me, I like my eyes toward my knees or my big toes, but find one spot where you can rest your gaze. Relax the neck and the jaw. We're here for one round of breath in through the nose. Exhale completely through the nose or the mouth. Left leg lifts up this time. Put a bend in your knee, find some rotation in the hip on that side. Maybe find some movement in your top foot and ankle. Keep pushing the left hand down. It's real tempting to want to dump the weight into the right. Keep pushing your left palm down into the mat to keep the chest square. Take your left leg back, breathe in. Left foot steps between the thumbs, keep the right hand down, lift the left arm up, finding your twist. You're on the ball of the back foot, back leg is strong, and then push your right hand down into the floor, just spin the chest open. Stay long in the sides of the neck, you can absolutely drop the right ear toward the right shoulder if that feels better, breathe in. And then sweep the hands about a quarter of a turn to your right, pivot the toes to the right. Keep the left hand down, inhale, right arm comes up for your twist. And then sweep the hands to the top of the mat, pivot the toes forward, drop the back knee down. Rise it up to your supported lunge here with your hips stacking over your back knee. And then bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm reaches straight up. And then over to the left, adding that big side body stretch. Keep rooting down to the balls of your feet for your balance. Left knee and toes point straight forward, but look over your left shoulder. So that rotated gaze to bring that rotation all the way up. Great, come back to the center. Take the arms up as you breathe in. Plant your hands around your front foot, back toes are tucked, lift the back knee, high push-ups. This time we're gonna lower all the way down and take 3 of those Y to W cobra variations. Feel free to drop the knees. Now reach the arms forward. Take a big breath in as you bend your elbows, lift your chest. Exhale, take the arms forward, point your nose down. Inhale, lift your chest, bend your elbows. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale, plant your hands, tuck your toes. This time, press back to your hands and your knees. And then widen your knees a little bit more. Bring your hands over to the left. And then press your hips back toward your right heel. So it's a side body stretch, a little variation on the lat stretch. Breathe into your right underarm, the right side of your waist. Come back to the center, palms under shoulders. Take a breath in as you lift the chin up. And then walk the hands over to the right, bump your hips back to the left. Back to the center. This time, bring your knees even wider and then press your hips back toward your heels, finding child's pose right straight down to the middle. You can drop the forehead straight down to the mat. I'm not going to do that because it'll muffle my voice, but let's be here for about 3 rounds of breath. The breath might be slower or faster than mine, and that's okay. Just see if you can notice the movement of the breath as it enters and exits your body, either through the nose or the mouth. And let the body get a little heavier with that relaxed out breath. And then walk your hands back to your knees. Lift yourself up. We're going to work your way onto the back. We'll finish up with a spinal twist before coming into Shavasana. Twists are really great ways to kind of rinse anything out in yoga. Go ahead and bring your hands to your knees. Circle the knees in opposite directions. So in yoga, sometimes we talk about these channels of energy, if you've heard of the chakras. So the main 3 channels run up and down along the spinal column. So spinal twists are said to be really helpful in terms of rebalancing those energetic pathways. Bring your legs to a tabletop position and your arms to a goalpost or a T, and then lower the knees to the right or the left. So we'll do each side. You can keep the nose pointing straight up, or you might nod your chin in the opposite direction of the knees. You can always reach down with one hand to catch the crook of that top knee. And see how far down into those 3 channels of energy, so how far down your spine you can send your breath. On an inhale, bring your head back through neutral, bring your knees back through the center. And then switch sides, send your spinal twist in the other direction. Nose pointing straight up or nodding your chin in the opposite direction of your knees. And then just allowing your body to relax into this twist as you breathe. Back to the center, take a breath in. And then a breath out. Setting up for Shavasana. And stretch your legs out on the mat in front of you. Bring a little bit of space between your feet. Let the arms relax by your side. Let the hands rest easy with the palms face up and the fingers maybe just gently curling inward. Now let the eyes close or soften down as you relax the brow, relax the ears, relax the jaw. One of the really wonderful things about this practice is its impact not only on our physical body, but also on our nervous system. And Shavasana is a huge part of that. Without forcing it, feel free to shift around a little bit to allow your body to settle in. And then give yourself permission to just rest and enjoy some stillness just for about 30 seconds. You can listen for my voice very shortly. Please stay with me to close your practice soon. When you're ready to move on, you can bring some gentle movement back into your body, nodding the head slowly side to side, maybe circling your ankles and your wrists. And take your time to bend your knees and roll to either side before you press yourself up to a seat. If there's anything that you want to take with you from your practice, maybe if you feel just a little bit more present or centered, or feel a little bit more sense of clarity or ease, I invite you to, keep those things front and center as you move on to whatever's next in your day. Thank you for sharing some of your time with me. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.